Right, okay. Hopefully this will be better, but I can't get it to work through my normal Facebook, so it's alright. I'll have to do some bits here, 2 seconds. Right. We should be live. Jonathan Reese, cheers for the follow, mate. Hope you're doing alright, buddy. Apologies if you alright, Corey? Hope you're doing alright. I'm just trying to sort out this live stream, but it's been a pain in the backside. I do apologise. Let me okay, so that should be sharing that to my main channel, but we'll see. Share. Okay. I'll share it to my story, and then that way, if it works, it works. Corey, I don't know if you can see it on my main Facebook, but we'll see. We'll see. What case has the PC got? Don't you worry, my friend. All that is to come. All that is to come. It's just a very standard case. So what I'm doing here is I'm just gonna be building a PC for a friend. So this has cost £700, and obviously you can see what you get for your 700 quid. So M.2 drive, 1 terabit. It's a good one as well, Kingston. You've got a Corsair Vengeance Pro. That's 3200 megahertz with RGB. I mean, you could not use the RGB, but sets it up on the case. 650 watt Corsair power supply, and it's semi-modular, so your main leads are connected, and then the other ones you can actually add yourself. A Ryzen 5 3600, nice little chip. It's actually quite a good chip for this case. We've got a AMD 6600 graphics card. Again, really good for the price. To say it was only £250. It's a good setup. How much for the apples, Dave? Well, the apples are more expensive, so can't do the apples, mate. And then we've got a B550 Gaming X motherboard by Gigabyte. This is a mid to high motherboard, so it'll be good for a few more upgrades in the future. A liquid cooler, but again, I'll show you the liquid cooler in a bit more time. It's weird they've sent it in just this normal white box, but I've checked it and it's all in there and it's all brand new and it's all okay. And then we've got the case, which it's quite dainty and small, but for the price you get 4 fans in there, which is really good. Obviously I'm yet to see how they operate and how they'll function in the case, but you get your 4 fans already included. Apparently I'll be able to mount a 240 drive at the top, but I've got my reservations, so I might have to possibly fit a different liquid cooler on here, but we'll come to that as and when. So I guess what we'll start with just putting the basics to our motherboard before we get into the case. So I'll be able to show you everything as and when we're doing it. There's the motherboard. It's going to be nothing too fancy. But for £700, you're going to have an half decent setup. So it comes in this nice silver foil. This is the motherboard in a bit more detail. So it's all Gigabyte. You got a couple of heat shields and fancy parts on it, but nothing too crazy. This port is the only port that runs PCIe 4. So that's the one we'll use for the graphics card. This one's 3. But I mean, you don't have a dual graphics card now anyway. Right, okay. So what I might do is I might just bring you closer to the action here, so we can see what's going on. But Jonathan, keep off my apples, mate. Oh, here we go. Joys of doing this live. Could have just pre-recorded it. So you're going to see what we're going to do. We're going to just stick our CPU in there. I'm having to watch obviously the stream myself, make sure that we're looking good for it. So this is the Ryzen 5 CPU. So whenever you're checking these things, the good thing is it's well sealed. Like, it's really well sealed, which is nice to see. And all we're going to do, just cut that open all the way across. A lot of people think these should come with air coolers, but they don't. It's only the other cards that come with air coolers built in, that come with them. So what you do is, when you get your new CPU, what you want to check is you want to make sure there's no damage around this point on the back of your CPU. If there is damage, obviously you're looking for things like bent pins and faulty pins, because they're going to be the things that stop this thing from working out of the box. So check it as your first port of call, because if that's bent at all, you might as well not bother building the rig until you've had this replaced or done. But this looks really good. This looks like it's in good working order. So this is the chip here, and this will just give you an idea. All them little tiny pins just need to be straight and in good condition, which we are, so we're laughing with that. On your socket itself, I'm hoping you're all not waiting for me to mess up. I won't. I kind of know what I'm doing. So your socket here has got a little lever. So all you do is you lift that up. Don't ever force it over. It will break and it won't work. Oh, you guys can't see an absolute thing, hence why. Oh, it's decided to flip the camera around. Apologies, let me flip that back It's going well so far, isn't it? Hey? Just a few mistakes. So let's just make sure that's doing what it's need to. Yep, there we go. There you go. Yeah. So I was just saying, don't flick this over all the way. This little pin just here. Because if you push it too far, you can end up damaging the bracket that it sits on. So it just lifts straight up. If you feel any resistance on anything, you never push it. Just try and do it as you can. Do it softly. On this chip as well, what you're going to see is a tiny little gold cross, and I'm just going to make sure we get that in focus. If not, let me pull it a bit further back, but just on this corner here is a very tiny little gold mark, and on the chip itself, it's got a mark just up in this corner with a little arrow on, and what you're doing is you're just lining them two up. So let me just drop that in there. There we go. That fits nicely. It's all in there, looking good. And then all you do is just move your pin down. What's your Twitch name? Hazy Stars. Wacko Jacko. Hazy Stars is the Twitch name. Tell you what, this stand, I don't like the stand up, but it's a good one, but I'm not sure what's going on. Right, so so far so good. Just got the chip in, which is nice, and pretty much from there, that's all we kind of want to stick in. We could put the RAM in. In fact, you know what, we will put the RAM in because I can show you in a little bit more detail with this out of the box. How the RAM actually goes. So let me just get this out. Oh, Jackson, thank you for following, mate. Good to see you. You all right? So here's the sticks of RAM. Really nice set. Absolutely will set this off. So it's two 8 gigs. So that's 16. So it'll actually go quite nicely in this rig. And when you're doing RAM, if anyone knows old subs and amps about bridging and doing that, you have to put these in a set order. So your order is usually 2 and 4, and then you just lock this down. 2 and 4, lock this down and make sure it's in the right way. There we go, 2 and 4. Otherwise you'll only run on one channel, not 2. So but always check the instructions you get in the box, because for some reason some manufacturers have it set up differently, and I've seen that a couple of times. So you can see that's in 2 and 4 just there, and then there's a spare channel to the left. Okay, so we've done that. We could just put our M.2 in. it would be easier to do it. So your M.2 drive just goes in this little slot here, and then we've got a second one here as well. But the faster drive is set above. They also come where there's 3 different, like, depending on the size of your M.2 or what it is that you're running, you can move this about to your own desire. So what we'll do is we'll get that set up while it's out of the case and just get that put in. I need this on a stand really. I'll tell you what, I'll put my Corsair one in because I'm not doing anything rigorous to it. So yeah, so we're just going to stick it in here. We're just going to remove this tiny little screw just here. Bear with me. Let me get a tiny little screwdriver. Right, okay. So we're going to do, just undo this screw just here. Just going to take out our stick. That fell on there. So there's a couple of things you can do with these. You can get a heat sink. So if you're gonna raid it or do anything else to it, you can buy these heat sinks. They're only like a tenner, and heat sink it up. But I don't think this rig's being used for anything too aggressive. So we'll just go with what it is. And that just slots into there like so. And then you'll know you've got it in right because it should have this little bouncy action. I'm just going to put our screw back in. There we go. Saw the laughing faces for Jackson. Right, and then you just got to deal with all your rubbish. I tend to keep it just in case I need to send some stuff back. I like them in their original packaging. So at this point you don't want to do too much, but there is always one thing you have to double check, and that's your bracket for your cooling, whether it's air, whether it's liquid. This is the old school AM4 liquid cooling, so it basically does a hook fit. So if you're going to use that, in theory, what we need to be checking is that AM4 bracket part of your kit, which unfortunately this is filled with loads of stuff, and half of it you don't need. So looking at it, usually you don't use them anymore. Use a different setup. So we'll just check what it comes with. I'll just let you guys see what I'm doing. It's that fan speed control. Oh god, never seen one of them before. Okay, and then here's our little tiny tube of thermal paste. I mean, I do have massive fingers, so it probably makes this look smaller than it is, but Yeah. Okay. Oh, let's not knock you too much. So you'll see this is the liquid cooler. It's got a nice fancy light up RGB. Well, it won't be RGB, but it'll be a light up emblem on it. Actually looks quite nice. And then this socket just clicks in. Basically these brackets just click onto it. So it'll just click onto this, like so. That bit sits behind our motherboard, which I'll get all set up in just a second. And then you screw it down. Yeah, it won't be that one. It'll be... No, if I can get my fingers on it. No, in fact, it will be that. It will be this one, because we just take out what's originally there. We could just, for now, just fit this on. It only fits one way, so you can't get it wrong. And yeah, that'll allow us to just pop that in when we're ready to go. So we can't get it wrong. Yes. Sure, there's two different angles. We'll just double check. Yeah, there we go. That's how we want it to look. Cool. So what we need to do is basically remove the old AM4 brackets off, and basically that fits onto a plate on the back here. This plate here, and then we'll need to reset it up with the new one. So I'm just going to remove that now. Let's just get you in the shot. Let me just move this out of the way. Welcome back, Jackson. Welcome back. So just removing these original brackets. Let's use a bit of a better screwdriver. Here's my gaming chair screwdriver. It's amazing. So we're just going to remove these parts off here. This bit's going to be the boring bit. It's just unscrewing stuff. And I just think a lot of the case stuff's going to be very not interesting to watch, but you'll have to let me know whether it is or not. What I need is I need a camera man or woman just to hold it. Yo, how you doing? What's going on? Looks intense. I'm building a gaming PC. Basically, a lad wanted one built, gave me his budget, so I'm now putting it together for him, getting it all set up. So this cost 700 quid, but it will be a nice rig when it's all done. Obviously, when you're trying to keep your parts in the PC goods, you do have to scrimp out on a couple of bits, but when it's cases and stuff, it don't really matter, does it? So yeah, so that's the original AM socket removed. I'll just try and keep you guys in shot as much as possible, and then we just need to put our new standoffs that we get in the box. Let me just double check actually. I'll be the cameraman, £5 a video. Yeah. I'm not that big. I'll give you 50p. Final offer. Right, okay. So all we're doing is we're just fitting these little standoffs in, for sure. Oh God. I just think you'd probably do it for free, wouldn't you? But these little standoffs are just to basically raise where the motherboard is, or the CPU is, so it connects up right. But I will just double check it, make sure I'm happy with it. So we're going to want to be. So the idea is I'm going to top mount this cooler if it fits with the RAM, because that can always be an issue. So that will sit on there. That's a nice snug fit, which will be good for when we come round to it. Who? What's the who about? Who? It's just I just want to try and keep you guys in shot as much as possible. But right, okay. So I think in terms of what we've done with the motherboard, I think we're pretty much there. I say that, I'm an idiot, and I do this every time. I forgot, where have they put them actually? In fact, it best of them, I can't see them. This should have on it. Oh. Yeah, for the coolers. Ah, not good. Not good. Not good. Where is it? These should have little plastic washers that just keep this raised, and I cannot, for the life of me. Let me just double check. They may have put them inside another bag, but I highly doubt it. Not looking good here. This will be another well done for eBuyer. And Al is in the room. Who? Oh dear. Right, so we haven't got them. That brings me on to a bit of an issue. I need them. I need them washers. Which could put. There you go. First problem when you're doing it. Jackson, I'll do it for 50p. Yeah. But yeah, so we've come across our first problem. So basically there's little plastic washers that sit along here that just keep this raised. And it looks like they haven't sent them with the liquid cooler. So I might have to revert to my other option, and I have a spare liquid cooler. That mounts with the old mounting system, which let's just double check. Yeah, cool. Now I'm gone. That's not good. Right, okay. Let me just go grab. Yeah, don't know whether he's going to definitely want this cooler or not. I don't think it matters too much. yeah, I don't think it matters. But I've got a single rad cooler, which is perfectly fine. But that's just it's just a little bit annoying. And they forget to put something in a box that is absolutely vital to this build. So I will just move everything, just to triple check. Yeah, not looking good here. Okay, so that'll have to go, yeah, it's going to have to go back. I haven't got the plastic washers, so it's absolutely pointless attempting to do anything more with that cooler as such. Oh. These legs do not like to stand up very much. Come on, don't give me grief. So let me just go grab my other cooler. And I will just double check to make sure I haven't got... Thought you said he wasn't going to mess up. Redeem highlight my mess. Ah, okay. I haven't messed up. This company messed up. Sending me stuff. I have got a load of bits in here as well. So I'm thinking maybe there could be a saving grace in here. The thing is, I would have to figure a way to machine these other bolts or these other washers for it to fit. But let me just triple check. Oh, these are... Just double check. If not, I've got a Corsair liquid cooler. It'll work well. So basically the standoffs look like that. They're just like little rubber, little hard plastic washers, but obviously I've used the correct ones for mine. So I was just hoping they might have, you know, you never know, you get an additional few. Okay, is that too high? Let's give it a try. So we'll pop these ones on. I think I might only have two, which I'll still need to revert to plan B. Oh, got three. Just need one more. But I'm sure these are not tall enough. I'm worried that these are not. No, these are not. No, these are not the right ones. In fact, let me see if I can do it this way. I will just double check. I'm going to do my best to get this done with his original cooler, with the cooler that he's paid for. I just need one more. Please, God damn it. Hurry it. Right, there we go. So, can I use instead then. I don't think I can, but it's worth a try. No, no, I can't. It's absolutely not the right thing to use. Oh, sorry, mate. I won't be able to use these. Yeah, won't be able to use them. Right, so what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to go back to the other cooler. I will have to send this one back off because it hasn't come with the little sockets, the little washers for me to be able to mount the drive on properly, which is really frustrating. It's literally that thick. That's the only bit I'm missing. There's no way of me using the mount off of my other card, off my other system, but the Corsair one will be just as good, and it will probably be easier to mount. Yeah, it is a shame. It's just faffing about, and I've got these parts from eBuyer, and eBuyer I'm not their biggest fans at the minute, but you know, when you're looking for a budget build, unfortunately, or a budget build, is that £700 not a budget? It's not a cheap build, right? But if you're looking for the best parts for the best money, unfortunately, you use them, and yeah, you get this. And I'm just hoping I don't have an issue with them like I have done with my graphics card. So let's have a look what we've got here. So we're going to put the old school AM4 on. Was the cooler all sealed? Well, yeah, Ryan. It's come in this. I thought it was quite weird, right? So ID Frost cooling. Yeah, you know what it looks like, and this is kind of the box I've got, which is an odd box. This is the logo. Now usually it's ID, but I thought, do you know what? It actually looks like an ID Frost because it's the same as mine in terms of the braided leads. The cooler itself is and the box internally is the same. But I wonder if they've just chucked this into a different box. Yeah, that's what I mean. It doesn't inspire confidence, does it? It absolutely doesn't. So, but to be fair, the Corsair liquid cooler I got here is a good cooler, and will serve its purpose, and will do the job and get him gaming, which is kind of obviously what he wants to do. So, yeah, I just need to make sure it's all nice and cleaned out for him. But we'll get that all set up on his rig. And this is why you check it, right? And this is what I mean when you're doing these type of builds. Oh, let me just put that back where it was meant to be. When you're doing these type of builds, the problem is you need to check things like that prior to you smacking it in the case, because you would have just spent all that time for nothing. And it's just absolutely infuriating. It's just a couple of little washes, and do you know what? I could attempt to use these and chop them literally down by a quarter. But what's the point? What's the point? Piece of piss to mount as well. Yeah, the old AM4 mounts. I think, did they use them in AM3 originally, or was it always just AM4? But they've always been quite easy to use, haven't they? Are they the internal washers? Yeah, Ryan, they are the internal washers. where they just sit to just stop it moving about. Like, I know, obviously, once it's all in and stuff, it probably won't make a big deal. And I know that's probably what you're going to say, that you could probably mount it. And once it's all mounted, it wouldn't move anyway. But, you know, you don't want any play at all, right? And that's kind of where I'm going, what I'm going for. I need it to be 100%. I wouldn't be happy with anything less. But yeah, that's frustrating. Yeah, it's just the internal ones that just sit on this, you know, sit on your ports on the inside. Was you going to suggest something? Yeah, was you going to suggest something on it, Ryan? I don't know if you was going to maybe mention something else. No, I mean, those washers you have for the Intel mounting, they've not sent the AMD. Yeah, they've not sent the AMD ones. So yeah, well, these ones I've got out of my kit, so that's out of my cooler. I can't even see, they haven't even sent the mountings for the Intel, so I haven't got the Intel one, I haven't got AMD. So actually the Intel ones are the ones that I've got, which is annoying. But we can carry on. But there you go. So initially, you know, you get to this point, they're not under the broom. They're not under the brown card, are they? Do you know what, Ryan? You're a very clever man, but always worth a check. No, nothing in there, mate. Good shout though, good shout. But yeah, I mean, it come with the accessory packet. I mean, to be fair, this accessory packet looks very dinged up, like it's been moved about, but yeah, the cooler's obviously got its protective film on. Now, the one thing I did question when I looked at it as well is, look at the protective film on this. It doesn't meet the edge. It's like not stuck on properly all the way. So again, there's nothing to say that that's been taken off and put back on, is it? You do it right. And also, when you fit a cooler, that's always got to come off. A lot of people leave that on and I wonder why things start melting. So yeah, I'll have to tidy all that up and send it out. But that's where we're at the minute. So luckily, I've not even put it up for sale. Luckily, I've not put my my other liquid cooler up for sale, so I've still got that to mount it. But yeah, we're laughing now. You know, we'll still have this done so far. They also usually, why have I made this so it's really hard for me to read? Yeah. They also usually put the fixings in the little bags separately by the CPU manufacturer. Yeah. Yep. And they're usually labelled as well. On every other one I bought, they're usually a labelled part. But I'm going to have to use this because I need a thermal paste. I've only got one shot though, one shot of this thermal paste. Okay, the thing is now, what we've done with all the screws, that's the question. Not in there, let me remove everything that I don't need. On another subject, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch instead of YouTube from tonight. Oh, okay. What's that? What's the reason for that? I think Twitch is better for interaction, mate. I think yeah, it's just an all round better platform for interacting with people. Yeah, YouTube's not very good for that. Right, I've got a load of screws somewhere that I now didn't care about a minute ago, but now I care about dearly. Also, it didn't come with an installation guide, which is odd as well. So I'll make sure I let them know. I've been persuaded from a few people that it's better. Yeah, but you pay for Streamlabs, don't you? If I remember you saying. Like, if anyone's talking to me on Facebook, I would never see it. I haven't got it on. Let me. Sorry, on YouTube. Am I right? You pay for Streamlabs, Rob? Now, because I've got a lot of pressure on this, I need to make sure I don't over tighten. So just nip it up. So we're just putting the original brackets on. That was an absolute waste of time, what I did before. We love it, it's good. I don't pay for it. Okay. Now there is ways of multi-streaming, but I mean, if you did pay for Streamlabs, you do get, you know, the ease of setting up multi-streaming and other bits. You know, you can have your overlays and stuff pretty much pre-done for you. There's the case. So look, it's a budget case. It is 100% a budget case. Let me just get this set up for you so you can see it. But in all honesty, in terms of the build quality, it's not bad. I mean, look. Getting a dust filter on it, tempered glass, yeah, tempered glass side panel. It's the old captive it's the thumb screws, sorry, where they're not captive. And you have to pop them off the front. You have to make sure you keep hold of the glass so you don't drop it on its edge and shatter it into a million pieces. But yeah, it's not a bad, yeah, I mean, you cannot complain. It's got a dust filter at the bottom, dust filter at the top. It's meshed at the front, but hasn't got a dust filter at the front. So this will absolutely be one hell of a dusty computer. It is. It's going to be one of them ones where you're going to have to kind of look after it, take it apart, clean it. I mean, I clean mine, and it's because I've got a bit of OCD when it comes to my computer, and the fact that I've taken it apart about 16 times. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop this side panel off. Should we do the old peel? Oh, we do love a good peel. There you go. There's one side. I can already see. looks about the same as my case. Oh, does it? Oh, it's even got a logo on it. It's even got a logo on the glass, look. That's quite nice. I don't know if it's meant to be on the piss, because it just seems odd that it's on the piss, but yeah. But, oh, that's, to be fair, mine didn't come with a logo on the glass. It's all these nice little touches. But yeah, it is a proper budget case, and I mean, they love to do the old cable management right at the start. This is what you get for budget. You could intake from the filtered and exhaust through the front. Yes, but I would have to, if I did that, I would have to remove or have a fan there, but not filtering, not blowing, because I think I'd have too many exhausts and not enough input. I could make the back one the input and then fit. Oh, that's a good point. So I could fit the liquid cooler onto the front, blowing out, have them all blowing out. The back, you see, yeah, but the back one hasn't got a dust filter on it. Let me get you guys to kind of see what I'm working with here. So here's kind of the 3 fans at the front. It can mount fans or rads at the top. In fact, Ryan, what I could do, just thinking about it, and it's got a fan on the rear. It comes with a lot of fans. Now, there's got to be a catch to that, because, I mean, are they going to be the best of quality? No. They feel all right, though. They might be loud as fuck. I could filter from the top and not have fans at the front. Or have one at its highest point, where it gets hottest. Not sure what your thoughts are on that. I just don't want it to be too much. Too much where we're pulling dust in from elsewhere because we've created too much exhaust. Which is negative pressure, isn't it? So negative pressure pulls in dust from every nook and cranny after that one. Another way of doing it is, I want these are bloody tight. So I'm just going to undo these screws on it. I just want you guys to see. Let me just move this all over. I mean, another way of doing it is if you could control the RPM, but obviously the problem is that's you could do 2 intake from the top, rad exhaust from the back, and 1 exhaust at the front, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's... it's just a shame, isn't it? And this is the issue you get with Jackson, GG, you're using my emote here, my one emote that I created. Now I've got questions. I've got some questions already as to there you go. That's why it is what it is. It's Molex driven fans, which basically means they run full power all the time. But you'd wish they put, just going to take this front cover off. I mean, that's still gonna collect too much dust, isn't it? Like it needs a better filter than that. Do you know what? We'll let him run it for a week, and then he can make a decision on. We'll run it for a month, and then he can make a decision. But I think I'll keep him in intake for now. I'll do exhaust out the top and the back. And worst case scenario, if we can just get a nice bit of dust filter mesh. But I mean, the holes are a good size, but they're a good size to let dust in as well. But yeah, we'll come to that as and when. But yeah, them fans, right? So yeah, I mean, look, these are going to run at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So yeah, there's not much we can do about that. But a couple of things we have got. We've got, I mean, look, I'm holding this one hand. So we've got a place to mount our drives if we want to, but I'm not. We've done M.2, so what I've done in mine, oh, they've done it so you can do that as well. What I've done in mine, I just removed that. But again, you know, he's not running anything too extreme, so you know that little bit of blockage of airflow isn't going to be too crazy. So we'll leave it in for now, but we don't need to use it. But if we have an issue with it and the power supply, we'll know where we're at. But other than that, this is a logistical nightmare. When you buy a really good case, usually all this is pre-mounted for you. It's already there, already waiting. I can already see I've been given a bunch of screws and bits that and mounting stands, because it's got the mounting stands. They've only put it in partially, and I don't even think that's an ATX setup, because these two would be up over here on an ATX, or sorry, mini ATX. So it wants me to put all the mounting stands in as well, mounting screws. That's a MATX ATM. That's MATX ATM. It's an odd setup, isn't it? So we'll have to see. Let me just double check. What we're working with. So the IO shield's going to need to. Are you joking? You are joking me. I really? No, just. So that'll go in there like so. So looking how it's mounted, I've got the center ones, I've got the top two, but I need them all on the outside. The center ones, I know which ones I need to remove. That's tight in there. That is really tight. Bottom left need to come out. Yeah, these two. I'm aware of that, Sam. I am aware of that. Oh God, they're tight. Why have they always got to be tight? I'll be back in 2. I didn't even plan for that to be tight. So, what I've got, some pliers. So everyone's now down here. Okay. There we go. Got this one. Well, someone's going to start kicking off now. Tommy, do you know you're on the camera? Yeah, he knows. He knows. What's he want? What do you want? What do you want? Okay. Oh God, this is so bad. Right. Okay. Do apologise if you hear any noise in the background, guys. It's something I can't help, unfortunately. So hopefully I should have another 3 in here. And then some little gold connectors. And I just need to make sure they're nice and tight. In the case, this is the bit that's a bit tedious, and the cable management will be just as tedious in a minute. Okay. Didn't I bodge your old PC in where I left 2 or 3 standoff short? Yeah, you did. Okay, we're getting there. Most people will already have a socket for this, won't they? This is a little overkill for this. Hold on 2 seconds, guys. Let me just what? Okay. There we go. Okay, let's get back to it. Yeah, you did bodge it, mate. It worked though, didn't it? Had that B450 in there for a little while. I've got. These are not the tools to be doing this with, but I didn't expect these to be as tight as they are. That was in. Obviously, you just need to make sure they're all tight, because otherwise you don't want them at different levels. Weight saving, mate. I was taking a look at this earlier. This looks like this panel where the graphics card goes in. It looks like you bend them. I will double check. It's odd. It's odd. I'll show you in a minute. This is so difficult. This is so difficult. Yeah, so these, they look like they're just all, like they've got screw holes, but with no purpose, like it was machined, but these you just kind of bend. You ever seen that before, Ryan? Yeah, I know, bend it, yeah, but what a waste. That's just ridiculous. But then again, it's a budget case. But yeah. Other than that, though, to be fair, it's not bad. It isn't bad. Like, the case isn't too bad. My guess is them fans are going to be loud, because they've tried to make them look cool as well by adding these little grooves on the inside. Pop it out like an Airfix. Yeah, I know, you just push it down, but I'll wait until I've got all the bits in before I do that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to mount the motherboard, which has our RAM. So again, slots 2 and 4, but make sure you check obviously your with the manufacturer of the board, because sometimes I think, is it me and you that see it, Ryan, where it wanted it in 1 and 3? I can remember I was doing a PC once and they wanted it in 1 and 3, which was really odd, and we were really confused by it. But yeah, so we've got CPU in 3600, which is nice. That 1 terabit of M.2 memory. That's a good setup. And then obviously our 16 gigs of RAM, which will be a great start to this PC. And obviously, if at any point this guy wanted to actually upgrade his GPU, he can do, and that will allow him to do it. But he would need to move. I think at the minute he plays 1080p gaming. He would need to move into 1440p, just because he will start bottlenecking in some places, unfortunately. I am going to have to. Will I have to mount this down? If not, let's have a look. Let's just make sure I've got a good screwdriver with a good head on it. I'm going to need several hands, I think. So I am going to pop it down just a second to get one screw in. I think I saw an ARGB header too. My board doesn't have one because it's open. Oh, okay. Did you keep your motherboard out your old PC? I take it you kept the motherboard and stuff from the PC, your proprietary one that you got. Just make sure I've got nothing interfering with this I/O shield. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a couple of screws in. When you're using a screwdriver to do this, by the way, make sure it's magnetic, because they're a pain in the backside otherwise. But I'll pop a couple of screws in. They don't need to be overly tight. On mine, you can see where they saved that penny, or 0.0000 of a penny, by not soldering an extra fan RGB header on. Yeah. Yeah. I know there isn't a lot of RGB connectors on this, so I think I might have to come across that in a bit. Saying that, no, tell a lie. I don't think I have to worry about that at all, because I think they're just, yeah, USB, HD audio. Yeah, no, I don't have to worry about it. They should be top right. Yeah, it's got it on the bottom and the top, but I've seen some motherboards where they literally have them plastered everywhere, and there's like 4 or 5 in a run. So they've got absolute dedicated control over each one. So I'm just going to pop this additional one in, but the motherboard is attempting to sit funny. Here we go. Just needs a bit of love. And I think I've already come across what could be an issue if I actually put all this in. No way. Oh no, it does just have clearance. Just has clearance. Just when you bend these down, there is just enough clearance from the board. So right, let's do the next screw. I'll do one bottom right. I'm not sure why they've done this as well. Why have they done that? Give them some different screws. There you go. Hard drive mounting, maybe. Yeah, I think so. It wasn't though, which is good. It was just being a bit awkward. We're cooking on gas now. We're cooking on gas. Let's have a look here. How's your day been going, Ryan? All right? Yeah, good, mate. You? Yeah, good. Just been chilling with Tommy today, waiting for these parts to arrive. They come first thing in the morning, but I think streaming with Tommy around would prove to be fun and interesting, as you could hear. You know, he's been good as gold all day, but you know what happens. It's getting a bit later now. He'll be getting a bit cranky and a bit tired and wanting everything in his way, which don't blame him. That's what I was like. Okay, so I think we're one mounting screw off. But the kids are home now, so I do apologise in advance. But what can you do? Right, some other boards in. There's a couple of screws I'm not particularly happy with, but yeah, they're just a bit of a pain, unfortunately. Cool, there we go. That's can't stop the kids. Nah, you can't. But oh well, you can't do anything. They're loving the bits, and yeah, just got to do your best, don't you? Do your best. At least yours don't try to walk onto the camera in just their pants. Right, they don't know what's going on yet, so we will see. Okay, so we've got to this point now. So ideally what we would be looking at is we could do, I think the easiest thing to get in next would be the liquid cooler. And then we would do the power supply last, because all the cable management and stuff is a pain. But so the liquid cooler is going to come up on the back here. I will use his RGB thing. Did you want to come say hello and see yourself on the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, come here then. So if you look on there, look, in a minute you're going to come on the camera.
Oh.
And other people can see you. Do you want to say hello?
Yeah.
Go on then, say hello.
Hello.
Hello. So yeah, people are saying hey. Buzz Lightyear, yeah, he loves it. Well, I say that, he don't really... He'll watch if it's on, but he's got such a thing about playing just CBeebies at the minute. Corey said, hey, Tommy. Yeah, he's got such a big thing of just playing CBeebies, but you know, you put Lightning McQueen on and Buzz Lightyear, he's all over it. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use his original fan that comes in the case, and then I'll have a look. I might have a couple of extra fans that I can give him to put in there.
What's that? Is it a bit soft or sharp?
Okay.
It's a little bit sharp, yeah. Not too sharp.
It is a Molex fan though.
Just be careful.
But if it's running at 100%, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you can't pull it off, I don't think so.
That's good.
12 volt, 5 watt.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with stuff being made in China, but I think when it just like that's the highlight of the product on the back of the description, you know that's going to be fun. So we'll see how it runs. We'll see how it operates when it's booted up. Okay, so that fan's out. Now here comes the fun part. So I'm just going to get a dust-free cloth in just a second, if my lovely assistant can grab me one. Could you grab me a dust-free cloth, please? You know what a dust-free one is, there? Microfiber. Yeah. Thank you very much. I would show you my lovely assistants, but she'll kick my ass if I do. So we just need to make sure everything's all nice and clean and dry on the liquid cooler. Make sure there's nothing on there. And then the same again with the chip. Just get rid of any greases, imperfections, or anything that may be existing on there. But I mean, it was brand new, so you know, my wife would have slapped me for that. I'm lucky.
Then nice chocolate red. Chocolate's red.
So when we do liquid cooling, pipes at the bottom. Don't put them at the top because that's where the air is going to sit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount the cooler first, just because that's going to make it easier. What's that? What's what? This is the liquid cooler, so that's a radiator. That's the pump, so that pumps the water through the tubes, which keeps the CPU cool. But I need some long reaching screws. And to be fair, I'm going to use the ones that come in the pack because I should have really sent it. So what we've got here is the fan. Now, given its rotation, which would be that way, we want it to do a push. So that would be pull. So that would be push, and then you got pull. So we want it to pull through and push out into there. Obviously we're doing a push system, so we're pushing through the rads, not pulling through the radiator. Still blows my mind that PCs have radiators now. They'll have turbos. Well, I mean, they do have turbos. If I know you're talking about a big turbine in a seal, but obviously the chips turbo, that's what they're called. It turbos up. But yeah, they don't. Yeah, the chips themselves turbo up. So I'm just going to mount this onto the back here. I'll use the fancy screws to do it. And what you want to do is just get as high as possible, because wrong one. I bet if you googled a turboed PC, there'll be someone that's actually put a physical turbo. Need to get yourself a fancy little electric screwdriver. No, don't want to go down that road. The problem is they're a bit too, like the smallest ones just don't have any battery life in them, and then you have to make sure you charge them. You see, and this is why you're watching. Tubes at the bottom. Tubes at the bottom. There you go. How many times would I have, how far would I have got before I noticed? And I would have had to take it all back out again. Thank you very much, guys. Oh. Guys, let me know if the noise in the background annoys you. Because I might have to go set up elsewhere and take the table with me. Oh, drop the screw.
Mummy,
Noise is fine, excellent.
come listen it.
But yeah, how far would I have got with that? God. Oh. This is where I need 6 hands, or I need a stand up. So I'm going to go with a stand up. Butterfingers. How am I having so much of an issue with it now when it's the way I want it to be, when before I got it put in the wrong way easily? I'll tell you why I'm having an issue. My screws are slightly off this way round. 2 seconds, Ryan. Let me have a look what you put. Doesn't like this screwdriver very much. About my secret labs. I was thinking of waiting until all the screws were in. Oh, if you did, then you knew. I know what you're like, Ryan. Your job would get a lot harder. So we're just going to semi-put these in, because you'll tell me I'm doing something else that I clearly explain what to do, and then I do the opposite. So yeah, tube's always at the bottom, never at the top. Obviously if you're mounting it to the roof, you'd have the tubes come down. That's cool, but because it's how it's sat, if you did it that way, all the air bubbles would just be plonking around, and it wouldn't always be water, because these do slightly evaporate over time. That's looking good so far. I've still got access to my plugs at the top, which is good, and I think I'll still have access to it once I've even put the fans on. So let's have a look where we got. It's your computer next, isn't it, Rob? Just whacking the screws in here. I better drop one. Once I save some pennies up, absolutely. I think, did we establish it was just your graphics card, wasn't it? Can't remember. Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Yeah, I mean, second-hand cards are always a bit of a worry, but if you can pick one up second-hand cheap, it's always worth it. I think I said to you a 3060. With 3060 Ti would be even better if you can get one cheap enough. But I was looking at 3060s and they're usually around the 350 quid mark for a brand new one. But in terms of streaming cores and stuff, but to be fair, this 6600 was 250 quid, which is a brand new card. In most applications, it beats the 3060. The 3060 probably has better streamer cores, cores. Yeah, I'll have to see if I've got a spare fan. If not, this will be fine for now. Yeah, I was watching you. When I was watching you play. What's it called? It's not called Harry Potter, is it? It's called something Legacy. Is it called Harry Potter? No, it's called something Legacy or something. Oh, Hogwarts Legacy. That's it. Yeah, when I was watching you play the graphics were so bad, and I watched my cousin's got an Overkill 4090 in his, which is a beast, but the graphics look amazing on his, and yeah, like just textures and details and everything else. So yeah, I'd say definitely your graphics card is due an upgrade, but if you're going to do it, if you're going to use it more often, it's probably a good investment. But yeah, it's well worth doing. Some hints on Twitch though. Make sure you've got a few people watching you right at the start when you're playing. You need to put a few hours in. But I remember I wouldn't tell anyone about it, just would stream. But the problem is, once you've built up them hours, you need to get affiliate. You need to make sure you do an extra few more hours. So do I want them like that? So the question is, do I want them like that? Or is there another way of doing this? Oh, pardon you. that'll do. Right, so the next bit I'm gonna put this flat, just so I'm just gonna put all these screws in a little bag for 2 seconds. I'm gonna put it flat just because this part requires me to put thermal paste on and stuff, so I'll kind of show you what I'm doing. The best rule of thumb, they're meant to give you enough here to just one big blob straight in the middle, and then I will kind of show you what I do after that. So what I may be able to do is, I might be able to give you a good, maybe a good shot. Just trying to set this up right so you can see it without it being in my way. Maybe like that. What can you see there? No, you can't see it there. About power. Just going to try and angle you just right. Oh. Right, we're looking good. See the chip? Okay, let's do this then. Oh God, where did I just put that tube of paste? Here it is. We playing CFEs later? Maybe, mate, or I might be on Battlefield again tonight. We will see. Why did you enjoy CFEs yesterday, did you, Corey? Right, here comes the fun bit. So thermal paste. So there you go. So that's, so according to ID Cooling, that's the amount you want. Straight bang in the middle. And then what we're going to do, get a cooler. Make sure it's facing the way we want it to face. We're just going to plonk it on there. Plonk it on there. And then all you do, just tighten these screws up on either side. Just make sure they're nice and tight. Don't do anything like lift it off to see if the paste is alright or anything like that. Let it do its thing. It doesn't need checking. Okay, so they're good and tight. That's loads of pressure on that plate now, which is good. That's what we want. Okay. I mean, it's not moving about, not doing anything, so I'm happy with that. Let's put you back to view. There we go, so liquid cooler in. And then there's a couple of ways of doing this. So for cable management, you can come out up here and it brings it through to the back, come back in, and what we want is we want CPU opt or CPU fan. It doesn't honestly matter, just as long as you know where you've put it so you can control the pump. And then what we can do is just for a bit of cable management, just get this tucked up somewhere down here. Maybe. Right, that could become an issue when I'm trying to figure that, but I haven't got enough cable with that plugged in there. To move this round the other side, because what I would like to do is have that, just do it. Yeah, have that tucked away up in that corner up there. So it's just a bit of cable management to start with. Okay. It's weird. I'm looking at my screen, and on YouTube the quality of this video is so much better. That is so odd. So right, we're in a good place there. Let's plug a Molex back in and back. Okay. I think what we'll do from here is we'll go straight to the power supply. And I mean, we could cable manage this stuff, to be fair. You alright, mate? You alright, Emily? Huh? So, right, okay. So we got power, reset, LEDs. So it's got an LED obviously up here. We have got just your LED controls. Oh, don't move the chair, buddy. Thank you. Leave the chair. Daddy's camera's on it. Cheers, thank you. And then, yeah, what we've got here is USB 3.0 that goes up at the front, and one USB, standard USB, and one HD audio. So what we do is you find...
The time is 6:37 p.m.
6:37 p.m. Excellent. There you go, guys. That's the timing over it. Okay, so for cable management, I want to come round the back. So you probably can't see what I'm doing, but I'm going to move some of these wires out the back. In fact, let me give you a visual of what I'm doing, just so if you guys ever want to try this yourself, you'll know what you're doing with the cable management. So all these cables are pretty much coming down to the bottom of the board. So we don't want them running down the front of the case because that just looks horrendous. So what I'm going to do is feed them through that hole up in the corner there. So we're just going to pop these, grab as many as we can, just pop them all through. And that one. There we go. So already a million times tidier, just by having it run through the back instead of the front. I mean, how much tidier does that look already? So then all we need to do is just start running your bits and pieces through. So USB 3.2 is down here, so we'll have that to the closest hole in the base of the case. Base of the case sounds odd, but yeah, just up in the base here, have it to the closest hole. You might find, because they're so stiff, these cables, and you know they come on such an odd mount, you can't really do a lot with it. If it was angled, we could probably fit that directly in, but then again, in some cases you have an issue with doing that. And then we've got here HD audio, which is right over here, and they have not allowed any extra, so that comes up down here. We've got a HD audio socket just there, so let me just make sure I've got the right one. That's my USB. Let's just get rid of that for now, so we know we definitely get the right connector in the port here. We'll just plug up HD audio. Why am I having fun with that? This is where my big hand's becoming a bit of an issue. I can go back a bit apparently. There we go, we're in. Now for the next. So where was that USB? So standard USB socket just on here. They also have like a little blanking plate, so you'll know. But basically we want USB facing up for the blanking plate to fit. There you go. That's just in there like so. I'll just tuck it away for a bit of nicer cable management. Now at the back of your case you can pick and choose what you want it to look like. Whether you want it to be cable managed, but that's completely up to you. So we've got these little ones here. Now most cases will show you where they want to be. So right at the bottom, right underneath this plug in this corner, if I can bring this up to you, that one there, right underneath it will show you where all these parts go. But again, if it's hard to get to or hard to see or you can't see it, just revert back to the manufacturer handbook. I'm just going to quickly plonk this on its side and not have any light, which is great. I'll just turn it around just so I can see what the names are. So HD LED, plus and minus, so this is facing down, just in this bottom corner. We've got power LED, God. We shut the top, we've got plus on the right, so this one on the right. And this one on the left. And we've got LED switch. Which I'll have to check because I can't see that on there. Power SW. Reset. Oh God. Reset down here. Oh, what do I want? Minus. That's an absolute nightmare to see. And I haven't put it on here. Right, okay. Shouldn't really matter too much, only a switch. On this one, so we just pop that in. Like so, right. We're getting there. We're getting there. Not far now. Cooking on gas. So there's a couple that I've got. Just double check. And it would help if I had some sort of torch or light, but I don't. I'm just going to take it off camera a second, just so I can double check it. Yeah, right, okay. Let's have a look where we're at. Oh. I'm still struggling to see these signs. Ali, can I please borrow your phone for a light? Or have we got a torch somewhere kicking about nearby? It's all right, I can operate a phone. Thank you.
Which one we use? Like green, make it funky place.
Right, let's have a look. Power switch. It's easier when you can see. Basically, if you did do this and you got it wrong in the wrong place, I would not worry about it, because for most of these things, like power is just a switch. It's only a switch. I do apologise for the noise. Yeah. LED switch. LED switch. Why can I not see it as part of this? There we go, right in the corner. So we'll double check all these things once it's all powered up, make sure it's all working as it should. But so far, so good. Now we move on to, after I just double check, the power supply. Cool. There you go. Thank you. So power supply is going to go down here, but let's do an unboxing quickly. So we go, Corsair TX 650M. Let's just get a better screwdriver for it. There's the unit. This one is well sealed to the point where I'm struggling to get in it. There we go. Kettle plug, we all know what that is. Instructions. Don't eat. All your cables, and then this, because it's a semi-modular, this has got all your main component leads. So for the motherboard, power leads, all pre-attached. Good in some cases. Some people don't like semi-modular, some people do, but to be honest with you, it don't make a difference as long as you've got power. Who particularly cares? I know some people want to make put other leads on or whatever, but to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. So power supply is going to sit like so. The easiest thing to do before fitting your power supply though is we've got the CPU, which is at the top side of this computer, the main motherboard, which is in the middle, and then we've got PCIe, SATA power, and these are going to be the power things like our GPU and so forth. So, okay. What we need to do now is remove this. Make sure that So I'm just going to do an unboxing of the graphics card actually, because I want to make sure I'm pretty sure it's only going to have one connector in it, but it's always best just to figure it out. So let's just open this up. So here's the graphics card, guys. Some warranty manuals. No drivers, discs including this product. That's quite helpful. If you didn't know what you were doing, I would hope you wouldn't build your own computer, but that is helpful to kind of know. And there's the graphics card. So all we're doing on this, oh, I mean, it's, oh God, that's well sealed. Oh no, it's not. It's got an opening just there, look. Little blue tabs. I thought it was like proper like heat cut type of seal. It's got protective film on it, so I'll need to remember just to remove that when I install it. But yeah, so it's only got one PCIe socket, so we know then just to install one PCIe socket in. We need to run, and I think, will this come with it? Yes, this comes with Molex. We need to run a power for the Molex. So here's our, well, they list it different because they sometimes, that's our SATA, which gives us the power for the pump, and then PCIe. So that's the one we want. So we want that one, SATA, Molex. So there's the three cables. And basically this is going to run the liquid cooler. This is going to run the power to the to the GPU, and then you've got your other cables for your Molex to run all the fans. So that's all groovy, and then we can take the CPU one and put that back because we already have one attached to this. So yeah, it's pretty good to be fair. But best thing to do to start with, let me just move this over here so it's out of the way. What we want to do to start with though is just attach them cables up so you're not fighting while you're in the computer trying to stick your hand in and jam some cables in. So it's always best just to find out which ones you need prior and just put them in. So we've got a Molex, which basically runs off SATA power. So Molex connected. We've got the SATA connections. So again, let's plug that in as well. And we've got the PCIe cable. Obviously the best thing to do is keep the rest of them because you never know. You get a power supply the next time. It'll come with 2, maybe 3. You can piggyback these. So if it does have 2, you can just piggyback them, but it's not recommended. I wouldn't do it if I was you. Get a fresh connection. There's another 2 sockets on here. You've got more than enough for an upgrade. This is 650M. that's what it's rated for. You can push these a little bit further. But again, if you're unsure about the power that you need for a GPU, CPU combo, there is loads of information on the manufacturer's sites that will tell you what it is that you need to use and do. Okay, so this just slides into the base here. And what we're going to do is we're going to have our fan facing down. And the reason for that is we want it to take fresh air in, not drag any hot air or dirty air through the case, through the power supply and out. I mean, to be fair, with this thing running at 50 million miles an hour, it's going to seem like with these Molex connections, it wouldn't be too much of an issue. But given that front hasn't got a proper dust shield, I would say this thing, it'll end up pulling dust through this. We want this to be separate. It's got a nice dust shield underneath, and it will stop it from shorting and burning out or doing whatever in the future. So, okay, the one thing I haven't seen, and it will be here, in fact they don't put it in with the power supply, it is in with the other screws. I need power supply screws. Oh, do they put it in with the power supply? Oh, no, they do give me them. You get loads, so we've got some spares. Saves me hunting from out of all these. Your power supply also comes with some cable ties, and that's to do a bit of cable management, and I'll do that in a minute. But we're literally getting near the end of this build now, and then, you know, the longest part is just doing your Windows. I say it's the longest part, it's not too bad, but you got to do all your Windows updates, your chipsets, your GPU updates. It's a gigabyte motherboard, and they do it does give the updates automatically for you, but they're not 100% always up to date, so you're best to get it from the manufacturer. You're going to make sure it works on your setup. I've got the screen here, so what I will do is I will boot it. The thing is, I haven't got a keyboard, because my keyboard's all cable tidied and put in place, so I haven't actually got a keyboard to start messing about with it. But I might contact the owner of this and just let him know, and then see if he brings a keyboard down. I think you can use a virtual keyboard, can't you, on these? But I'll boot it up. I've got a Windows 11 USB stick just been made, so we'll get it booted up. We'll try and get it all set up, done. Obviously I want to set it up for him, so you don't have to worry about what to do. Let's get this 100% first. If you can, then you can. Come get mine if you want. Yeah, cheers, mate. I shouldn't need to, though. I'm just going to plug the power into the phone, just in case I don't want it to run out. God, you can make right a mess doing this, can't you? It's a clean-up operation after. Right, so power supply's in, cables are all here, ready to go. So the two that you get with it on this particular power supply are built on. They're for motherboard, so you shouldn't be able to get it wrong. But one will say CPU, the other one won't say anything. But you cannot plug that anywhere else other than the right place. But you'll know that the two that are connected, you're plugging them directly into your motherboard, so you know you're not going to plug these in the wrong place if you're plugging them directly in your motherboard. So we'll just flip this around here. So we've got a socket up here, and then all you do when you plug these in, just make sure you're the right way round. Plug it in, and you want to hear that snap, and you want to make sure it's nice and tight, not bending or anything. I think with some of the graphics cards, especially the 4000 series, there's been a lot of issues with partially plugging cables in. When you plug cables in, just make sure it's tight and in a good place. Okay. Another plug here. Again, hear that snap. Make sure it's all nice and tight, all plugged in, and then you just want to keep cable managing the front. Make sure there's nothing too much at the front. If it's at the back, it don't matter, you can't see it, but we will do a bit of cable management on the back anyway. Just pop this the right way around. There we go. So we're looking good so far. Right. That's them two in. I'm just going to plug the cooler in. That's just using a SATA cable. I'm going to put it on the end one because then we can hide the rest of the plugs. Again, you can't get this plugged in wrong. There is only one way to plug this in. That's now plugged in. And then we got Molex. And then we got the female version of the Molex. And we want that just plugged in there. I think just for peace of mind, I am going to just, so we can use them all up, plug one into each. It doesn't make a difference, but I think it'd be easier to make it look a bit neater. Okay. Looking good so far. There we go, cooking on gas. Absolutely. So if you look, there are cables at the back of this. They're horrendous. But we'll make it look pretty at some point. And then this one here goes to the motherboard, which is usually tells you PCIe. So what we do is feed that up underneath. what I've done is that's coming out just underneath all these other cables. If we can get, no, we're not going to get away with that. Now I've put it in this hole, and I'm thinking it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm thinking that graphics card's probably not as long as the ones I'm used to, so it actually might be a bit further back. So there you go. Then that's your power. So at the minute, as in terms of the front, that looks absolutely fantastic. You know, it's, yeah, that looks so, yeah, that looks good. I might move these pipes a bit further down. They just need feeding up above each other. But yeah, yeah, it's looking good. Really neat, really tidy, all at the front. There's some cables I don't like the look of, but I'll probably bind them nearer to the edge. Let me just aim that a little bit further up. But yeah, I might just bind them up there, and then it'll look a bit better. But yeah, so far, so good. So I'm just going to pop the piece de resistance, the graphics card in. Let's remove this film. Yeah, for 700 quid, this thing should be absolutely amazing. Cheers, Corey. Yeah, I think it looks really good. Looks better than mine. I've still got some SATA leads in mine, because I still have hard drives, but SSDs, sorry. I haven't used them yet, but they're there just in case. So here we go. So the graphics card, these pipes are always going to be an issue. So the graphics card, just got to remember top slot. I've got to remember that these all bend in, which are odd. So you've got your top slot. And what you're going to do, tell you what I've got to do. I think I've got to remove this panel. Does it want me to feed it? Oh god, that's not good. Yeah, bear me 2 seconds. If we look on here, if I just unscrew this, just allows me to slide this plate open. And as I put the graphics card in, it'll allow that bit just to sit in, and then I basically close it up. Do you know what? I know it's a bit of a cheap way of doing it, and I think if you're running maybe the top end graphics cards, it wouldn't work. And I didn't do the old remove the plastic, which is good. There is nothing else to remove. There's nothing else to switch. Oh, it has got a switch. Must be, what's that, turbo switch or something? I'll check that in a minute. But in terms of how easy this is to put a graphics card in, it's quite nice. I do need to go further down though, but I don't have a cover for the top, which is annoying. So these are going to have to come off, I think. Oh. There's one. There's two. And okay, want that really nice tight click. There we are. That's done. Good thing is we have got some screws to put in here, so let me just pop this back over. got some screws to pop in the side here. Keep the card held up. And one more, we'll see it done. So far so good. Haven't really messed it up. She's running, looks like she's going to run sweet. And I guess what I'll do is we'll cut to the good stuff. I will do, I'll power it up, and then what I'll do is when I'm doing all the cable management stuff, I'm not going to sit here and make you guys watch me do cable management. That would just be absolutely monotonous. So bear me a sec. I want it to be perfectly in there, so just make some minor adjustments. But to be fair, like doing these PC builds and stuff, it's quite good. I do enjoy it. I mean, I've done it that many times, but compared to some of these guys, I am absolutely lucky. And a bit of a perfectionist. I want it to always be 110%. Right, we are looking golden, so we'll be soon in the place for testing. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't going to do the testing on camera, but I think I'll do the cable management not on camera. I think that makes more sense because no one wants me to see me put cables all tidy at the back. Okay, so your PCIe's always come slightly split, it just gives it a bit more options for different or older cards, but basically you just kind of hold them together. They've got like a groove, hold them together. You can't get it the wrong way round, but I'm sure if you forced it hard enough, you would. But your latches at the top, so make sure when you put it on, your latches at the top. I'm just gonna, there you go, nice click. We'll cable manage that a bit in a bit, but yeah, wow, that looks clean, very clean, which I'm really impressed with. I don't need to do anything to the front, so let's pop you back on. But then we'll do the tests, see if there's anything that we've missed. Any underlying issues with any of the parts, and yeah, so what I'll do is I'm going to get all that stuff just set up now. Everything's all plugged in. We can go to test phase. So let me see how I'm going to have to do this. What I may do, guys, just get rid of this mess off the table. Cable management stuff I'll do in a bit. All the other bits. Stuff I've got to send back. Okay. What are we thinking? Do you think it's gonna work? I think I failed. What's your thoughts in the comments? Okay. Power supply is in. We got some RGB straight away from the RAM. I'll have to ask him whether he wants that, because it'll just stay on all the time. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to connect my gaming monitor. Need to figure out what that little switch was for. I've not had any on my PCs. Yeah, there's a little switch, and I don't know whether it's an overclock switch or not. It doesn't say on it. I'm guessing it is an overclock switch, but I will double check that in a minute when I've done the initial test. So let's get the monitor out. Let's get my DisplayPort cable wherever it's gone. Well, that was stuff everywhere. Okay, we want DisplayPort. Right, moment of truth, guys. Let me just bring you back. It started so tidy in here, and now it's an absolute mess. I've got a bit of cleaning to do. What I'm going to try and do is get you a view of the screen, but also a view of the PC as well. Oh, that was another thing I got to fit. We needed wireless. Luckily I don't use my wireless card. So there's a gigabit wireless card that I'll put in there as well. But I'll do that off camera. Doesn't need it just yet. Okay. Ready? Moment of truth. See what works, what doesn't work. Here we go, guys. She is lit up like a Christmas tree. That actually looks pretty good, to be fair. Oh, that's got some good suction in. It's not the best, but that's nice. Oh, some nice blowing. Actually, them fans seem to work really well. I know they're pretty much at 100%. So okay, there we go. That all works. We've got a post. Yeah, I just now need to install Windows on it. But look at that. That is a crazy looking machine, isn't it? All the colours go together, other than the Corsair centerpiece, but it's white, so it's very uniformed. But yeah, no, well chuffed for that. Let's give you the old tour. That looks good, doesn't it? Fan spinning on the graphics card. Yep, everything is working exactly as it should, which is something I'm absolutely chuffed with. It looks amazing, as in, you know, visually it's great. Yeah. So look, I mean, it's a budget case. Fans are spinning at 100%. But if you could live with that noise, that's as loud as it gets. Other than the graphics card, that is as loud as it gets in terms of the noise. So if you have it on the floor, ace. If it's one that you have on the desk next to you, I wouldn't recommend having them at 100%. But to be fair, it's not that bad. Really isn't. You know, we put the side panel on that's going to quieten down a little bit. No, well chuffed. Good little setup. So £700, and it gets you this. Could have saved on a few bits, but it's got the ability to be upgraded with little cost next time. Whereas if we saved on a few extra bits, we may have been looking at a proper upgrade on the next run. So but yeah, no, well happy with that, and I'll do some further tests next. But no, I appreciate obviously everyone that's on just sticking around, but we will have to end it there. I'll do all the other bits, and yeah, if you want one building, let me know. If you've got the cash, give me your budget, and I'll look at what I can sort out. Alright guys, cheers.